Hi everyone, my name is Aioli Harper and I am going to tell you a joke. My husband is doing a joke series called Dad's Jokes, which is based on a lot of the jokes that his dad told him when he was growing up. And this joke that I'm putting out there is, kind of an extension of that. But this one wasn't told to us by his father or anything like that. This is one of the very few jokes that I can actually remember. I've heard a lot of jokes, but I have a hard time remembering jokes, so we're lucky that I could actually remember this one. Anyway, so how the story goes is that there was a rope, and the rope was down south in the southwest, and it was a really hot, blustery day, about 105 degrees outside, and he was just really thirsty coming into town. And he got into town. He'd run out of water, sometime before, and he was really, really parched. Anyway, when he was walking through town, he tried looking for a water trough or something, anything to get him some water. He couldn't see anything anywhere. The only place it looked like he could get some water was at this milkshake shop, out there on the main run through town. Anyway, for some reason, this little town didn't have a bar. It had a milkshake shop. Anyway, so he walked up to the front of the milkshake shop, and there was a sign on the front that read, "No ropes allowed." But he was really, really thirsty, and he thought, well, surely they won't mind. I'm not going to buy a milkshake. I'm just going to ask for some water. A milkshake doesn't parch your thirst anyway, or doesn't get rid of your thirst anyway. So anyway, he went in, and all of a sudden everyone turned around and started looking at him, kind of like, what's he doing in here? And he went up to the bar area of the milkshake shop, and he respectfully asked for a cup of water. The guy that was behind the counter walked up to him and said, "Hey, didn't you see the sign that's on the door? It says, 'No ropes allowed.'" Then he goes, "Well, I'm really thirsty. I'm not going to buy a milkshake. I just really want a cup of water. I've been out in the desert. I'm thirsty. I haven't had anything to drink in a while." And the guy goes, "I'm sorry, rules are rules. It says no ropes allowed, and you're going to have to leave." So the rope didn't want any trouble, so he went out the door. So the rope walked out of the milkshake shop and thought for a few minutes, and finally he came up to a conclusion, and he went out into the back of the milkshake shop. And while he was back there, he started beating the snot out of himself. He choked himself, he hit himself, he rammed his head against the boards out in the back, and people that were sitting inside, they could hear the commotion of something getting banged up against the wall back there. He grabbed whatever he could and knocked himself in the head with it. He threw himself around all over the place. There were some people that were walking by, and they watched and they wondered, what in the world is that rope doing to himself? And then when he was all done beating himself up really good, he tied himself into a knot. After he tied himself into the knot, he headed back up to the front steps of the milkshake shop. He walked through the milkshake shop door, and there were a couple of people that looked at him, kind of weird, that noticed him, but not the whole place staring at him like before. And he went and sat down at the bar, and the bartender looked at him, the milkshake shop bartender. Anyway, he came up to him and he told him, "You look kind of familiar." And the rope told him, "Well, can I have a cup of water?" And the bartender looked at him really close, and he was really eyeballing him. And he goes, "Hey, aren't you that rope that came in here earlier? And then the rope goes, nope, I'm afraid not.